So Adam Schiff confidently attacked a statement about military strikes. Bill Maher listened. He paused. Then he said, hey, you know that was Obama, right?
This statement from the administration: the president had the constitutional authority to direct the use of military force because he could reasonably determine that such use of force was in the national interest. That's too vague for you?
Totally vague.
Okay, because that's from Obama about Libya.
Well, Obama made the argument initially that he could go into Syria without an authorization. I and many others pushed back on that argument. Ultimately, he did not go forward with going after Assad, even though Assad was gassing his own people, because he thought he might lose the vote in Congress. But I respect the fact that was important to him. And the fact that he did not have the support of Congress meant that we weren't going to go forward.
This statement from the administration.
My boy Maher caught him. I ain't going to say my boy, but, you know, in this instance. That moment right there is why this went viral. Schiff, here's the quote, assumes it's Trump. Calls it vague. Calls it dangerous. Then Maher calmly, that was Obama. That's the entire political playbook exposed in about 5 seconds. Because sometimes the outrage isn't about policy. It's about who's sitting in a chair when it happens. And we know that's Trump. You know, it's a lot of TDS. And the rest of this week made that contradiction even harder to ignore. Because while Washington was arguing about Iran, something strange took place in New York, y'all. Y'all take a look at Dia. If I can get it. Oh. I'm pressing the wrong button. That's why I didn't click him. You know, multitasking goes wrong.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Why are you crying? I'm a lady from Iran. I'm so happy. Why are you crying? Bye. Get your.
Don't trust her. Trust the white leftist college students. Okay, trust them. They know much better than actually.
I'm from Iran.
No, I'm saying you're right.
I know all the right wingers. Who's next?
Kill her.
I know all of them.
Came out to us, bro. What the fuck you think? You're walking up to me telling me to leave.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! I don't care what you're talking about.
None of you are Iranian.
This is another right-wing piece of shit right here.
Oh yeah, that one definitely.
This one right here. This one. I do. I show my tits. Nate Friedman here. Nate Friedman, this piece of shit right here. Fuck him. He's trash.
Get out.
Yeah, get the fuck out. We paid protesters. He just dropped the video. Don't touch her. Don't touch nobody. Don't touch nobody, nigga. Don't touch her either. Don't touch. You back up. You back up. That's it. Nate Friedman, get the fuck out. Inject this insect out. Get out, cockroach. Get out, cockroach. You the cockroach. Get the fuck out, bitch. Get out, bitch. Get out, bitch. Bye. We're paid. Yeah, you got fucked up. Bye, bitch. Take your bitch.
You back the fuck up, bro.
Get on off,
Completely disgusted that they're naive and they don't know what they're protesting for. You know, they want to say Epstein, horrible person. The orange man's a fucking pedophile. But they think that guy's any better? They think that guy's gonna come free Palestine? No. That guy won't even treat his own people morally right.
I didn't know what
هذه الأرض دم وعرض ساحل الأقصى صلينا عهد وشرف نفني الروح يا أقصانا قول وفعل وقت الشدة.
Let me translate what you just saw. Activists in New York City held a vigil, I always mess it up, for the leader of Iran. Candles, posters, flowers, and chants of death to America. But the person confronting them, an Iranian woman, furious that Americans were praising the regime, her family fled. And the activists tell her, you're not Iranian. That moment tells you everything about modern activism. Sometimes the loudest voices defending the oppressed end up defending the oppressors. But here's the twist. Ask actual Iranians what they think about America, and you hear something totally different.
I mean, it's been 47 years that the Iranian people have been fighting this fight against the regime, and they wanted nothing to do with this government. The difference between the Iran's government and its people is miles far. I mean, our understanding, our culture, even the language they speak is completely different. And the people of Iran are in love with America, and they love America just like I do, just like we do. And I'm happy that this situation is happening to make it clear to this world that we stand with America and we stand with a free world, and we want nothing to do with what's happening there with the government. I mean, it's been 40...
That's the part people ignore. The Iranian government hates America, but millions of Iranian people love it. But America represents something their regime never allowed them to have. Freedom. Opportunity. Choice. Which is why the reaction to the Trump administration's to the Trump administration strike looks very different depending on who you ask. But this conflict isn't just a political debate, y'all. There's real threats involved.
In the federal trial of a Pakistani man, prosecutors accuse him of plotting to assassinate American political leaders, including President Trump. He says Iran was behind it all. Alexis McAdams is outside the Brooklyn Federal Courthouse in New York City. Alexis.
Hi, Harris. Yeah, an interesting case that really not a lot of viewers knew about when it happened in 2024 because President Trump was out on the campaign trail and there was so much going on and so many other threats. But that's when police say a Schiff merchant came here from Pakistan because he says Iranian leadership told him to, said hunt down President Trump, hire a couple of guys that can take him out at a political rally. So take a look here on your screen. This is who we're talking about. He's sitting there inside of that Brooklyn Federal Courthouse right now as those closing arguments are underway. 47 years old. He's facing federal terrorism charges and could spend the rest of his life behind bars. Merchant testified, Harris, in his own federal trial, and he explained this, making this drawing again that he said Iranian leaders gave him back in 2024. Really doesn't look like there's much to it. It looks like, like a kid drew it or something, but that's the sketch of a rally site. Merchant was arrested just one day before Trump was shot in Butler, Pennsylvania, and later told the feds that he believed Iran was behind that attack because it was so similar to the plan that they gave him. Kind of get up in an elevated place, go to a rally, and create all this chaos so the gunman can get away. Merchant says Iran wants revenge for the killing of their top military leader, Qasem Soleimani. And threats continue as the U.S. just bombed Iran and took out its Ayatollah. So we're expecting even more threats here, possibly on the homeland, according to the feds. Back out here live in Brooklyn, prosecutors say the evidence, Harris, is pretty damning in this case. They say he actually paid two FBI agents thousands of dollars in cash, telling them to take out President Trump because he thought they were hitmen, and then also a lot of other things, including writing the entire thing down on a hotel napkin. So,
wow. Think about what that means. A foreign regime allegedly recruiting someone to assassinate a U.S. presidential candidate at the time. This isn't like social media arguments right here, y'all. This is geopolitics. And sometimes the consequences are even more serious, y'all. Take a look at this. This doesn't come with any music. When you see that, the politics stop for a second. Those are American service members. Families waiting. Lives that mattered. Which is why some of the reactions we're seeing in politics feels disconnected from reality. And that's when things take an unfortunate turn. First of all, let's a moment of silence. But like I said, that's when things take an unexpected turn, y'all. Because the next person to say this is someone Democrats usually agree with. Let's go back to Bill Maher.
Also, this week, war. Did you hear about that thing? We bombed Iran, and it's going on. Now, have you expected me to say I hate it? I don't. Sorry. When he puts boots on the ground, yeah, then I'll hate it. Now, I know too many happy Iranian Americans. Sorry. You cannot name one horrible thing that has happened in the Middle East in the last 50 years and not connect it to this fascist theocracy. They're like 6 degrees of they don't eat bacon. So I'm not sure. And it's popular. I mean, Iranians all over the world are doing the Trump dance. Have you seen that? The whole world is jerking off 2 guys at once now. It's amazing, yeah.
When someone like Bill Maher says that, you know the narrative is getting complicated because he's not known for defending Republicans. I'm just saying. But even he acknowledges some people are quietly noticing. Many Iranian Americans are celebrating these strikes, which makes the political reaction from some Democrats even stronger. But the strangest reaction of them all just might be this one. Trump wants people distracted from our election. That's why he bombed Iran a few days before Election Day. Now, I try not to be harsh, but saying a military strike involving an international conflict happened to distract from your election, that's not analysis. That's narcissism. And it explains a lot about modern political reactions, right? Because when politics become that self-centered, everything starts revolving around a narrative instead of reality, which brings us back to where we started, the moment with Bill Maher, where Adam Schiff confidently attacked the quote until he learned Obama said it. And suddenly the outrage disappeared. Because sometimes politics isn't about principle. It's about who gets blamed. It's about people. And that's the trap. And that trap exposed everything, actually. Pull all these moments together and the picture becomes pretty clear. Activists in America defending a regime, Iranians themselves escape. Iranian Americans thanking the country that gave them the freedom. Politicians arguing narratives while real threats are actually unfolding, and a liberal comedian accidentally exposing a double standard live on television. Sometimes the truth about politics doesn't come from speeches. Sometimes it slips out in one moment when someone realizes the trap was already set. So if you made it to the end of this video, I want you to write trap set. Yeah, trap set. I'm not gonna lie, man. This has been a pretty relaxing weekend. I spent it with my babies. We didn't get to do too much on Friday. We ended up taking them out yesterday to a movie, and we ended up going out to eat and all the good stuff. So I've just been enjoying my time with them, and I think I might take them to an arcade or something today. You know, sometimes you got to get away from politics. Y'all be safe. Go check on somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.